On episode 9, we will discuss mistakes. Happy Halloween! I'm Lola Bunny.
And I'm Twitchy Witchy.
Twitchy, I think we're talking about mistakes today. Have you made mistakes? Maybe you poisoned some extra kids than you needed?
Maybe not kids, but maybe some that I shouldn't have for sure.
Please don't say it was bunnies.
No, those wascally rabbits. I just couldn't do it. They're too cute.
Ew!
Yep, I had some mistakes in my lifetime. Recently, I had a poisoned apple I was supposed to give to somebody, and then a rat ate it.
No, not my cousins.
I'm really sorry. There was too many.
Anyways.
On a serious note, Lola, let's talk about mistakes. Real mistakes.
Real mistakes.
Life mistakes, right? Let's get down and dirty. When you make a mistake, what do you do with it?
Mistakes are hard. It's hard to not see them as a fault or a failure. Mistakes, I see a lot of mistakes that are taken the wrong way, and they make girls or players put themselves down, and they think that they're not good enough just because they made a mistake. And that's not what mistakes are. Everybody makes mistakes. We make mistakes making these videos. Mistakes are gonna happen your entire life, whether it's in sports, in life, in school, in work, whatever it is. Mistakes will always be there. So we have to be able to learn how to be in control of our emotions and our actions when we make a mistake.
Yeah, for sure. So I was just thinking about, as a kid, I can control as an adult. I've been through my life for a long time now and kind of learned what mistakes mean and how to control and not really think of them as mistakes, but more of a learning opportunity. But I remember, as a kid, as a teen, if I were to not do something perfectly like I thought I should, then I characterize it as a mistake, right? And so it would eat away at me. It would, cause me to not talk good about myself. It would cause me to not want to do that thing again because I felt like I was going to screw it up again. And that's exactly how I labeled it. I was screwing up. And so I learned as I got older that it's not screwing up. I'm learning how to do it. I maybe have never done it before, or I haven't done it to the point where I can learn from it and get better. And so I just learned how to get better and to not be so hard on myself because I'm learning how to do it, and figured that it's okay. I have to ask more questions. I have to keep trying and not give up.
Yeah, that's a huge thing that so many players have to learn. Coaches go through the same thing too. I make mistakes coaching, and sometimes it can cost a game. There's always things that you can continue to learn and grow and get better with, but it's all about our mindset. It's all about being able to say, okay, I made this mistake and I don't like how I feel. I hate how I feel when I make a mistake because it sucks, and that you can do so much better. So that mindset, we have to make sure that when we make those mistakes, we see it, okay, I don't like how I feel and I don't want to feel this way again. So what can I do to keep my head up? What can I do to keep my head high? Say, okay, this is what I did that caused that mistake. What can I do? What actions could I have changed in the game to prevent me from making that mistake. And sometimes you're going to make the same mistake over and over and over again. That's just how life is. Sometimes you have to keep trial and erroring it until you figure out how to do it. And that's just part of life, and that's a part of sports. Sports, nothing ever comes the first time around. You have to keep practicing and making mistakes until you really perfect that skill.
Right. And, and going to just the part of the parents, and when your kids are, I know when you kids were growing up, that I really saw when you guys were getting down on yourselves, and especially if it was something new that you were doing, and you couldn't do it right the first time, or you were just learning how to do it and you just kept making those mistakes. It was our job, or what we felt was our job, to encourage you to keep trying, because you can't do something, especially when it's new, you can't do something perfectly the first time because you've never done it before. If you aren't skilled at something right away, then as a parent, what a good practice is to be able to, encourage our kids and say, just keep trying and keep working. And what could you have learned from doing that the last time? What else can we do to fix that? Or, it's a lot of the same things we've been talking about, we even within coachability, it's just learning from those mistakes and asking questions. And, as parents, to encourage our kids to keep asking questions, to keep trying to figure out, okay, what did I do this time that I can do different next time? And what's going on in my head when I make that mistake? And what's going on in your parents' head when they do make a mistake? Don't punish your kids because they've made a mistake. Go out and be like, okay, what did you do? What did you learn from that? And encourage them to keep trying. That's the biggest thing. Just keep encouraging them to keep going after what they're trying to do, so that they can get that self-confidence within themselves to keep going and keep getting better.
Yeah, exactly. As an athlete, when I was playing and I would keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again, I would take note of that. So when I would go and spend time in the gym on my own, I would know, okay, these are the things that I need to work on. And I will sit here in this gym and I will do the same drill with myself over and over and over again until I do it right, until I get it perfect, or, basically perfect. And that was my way of trial and error. I would keep doing, especially when it came to ball handling in basketball, I would be doing the same thing over and over and over again. If I messed up, I started over and I would keep going. I would do it again until I figured it out. And I think it's easier when you are alone to work on those things that you keep messing up on, you keep making mistakes with, to be easy on yourself and say, it's all right, I'm just going to keep going. And I think it's a lot easier by yourself than when you're in the middle of a game and you got your coach yelling at you, your teammates who you're trying not to let down, your parents, and all of the crowd that everyone's watching you. Like, it can be a lot of pressure and you think that you're letting everyone down. But truly, what lets your team and what lets everybody down is when you lose control of your emotions and your actions. If you can just keep your head high and say, okay, I'm not going to do that again. Or if I'm going to do it again, I'm going to do it differently, try it a different way. But it all comes down to your attitude about it. If I have a positive attitude about it and I'm like, all right, I got the next one, then you, of course, will continue to make a better mistake. You know what I mean? You will make less mistakes, or it'll just work out. Sometimes it'll just work out. But if you drop your head and you have a negative mindset, it's not going to work. Nothing will work for you. And it will only push towards your team. And your team will start to get down. I had that this weekend with one of my teams I was coaching. They came out, they were ready to play, had a really good time, and they realized that the team that they were playing was a tough team. And I've never seen them act like this before, but they just all dropped their heads and got lazy. got lazy and they didn't like when they were making the mistakes. And it's hard, especially when you have an entire team who is all in that bad mindset, like no one's being a good leader. But there has to be one person. There has to be one person who can step up and who can pick up the rest of the team, because you guys are a team. And if one person drops, the entire team drops.
Right. And so when you see your whole team, so you're saying that they began that way because they realized that they were playing a tough team. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, at least that's how it came off to me.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, as a coach, when you see your team do that, that's where coaching can really come in and be like, okay, I see that there's no one, that our whole team is now in this negative mindset. You guys are feeling like you're not good enough. You're feeling like whatever it is, and you're not ready to play. Right. And so to be a coach, to be able to say, okay, I see what's happening with my team. What can I do to change that path?
Yeah.
To get them on this, upper positive note where they are ready to play and they're ready to go out there and say, yeah, you are a good team, but we are too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's really hard. Like as a coach, it's hard to do that, and it is necessary. You have to be able to step out and do whatever you can to pick up your team. It's like, it's okay. Like we always tell our players that we don't really care about the win. Obviously, we want to win. Of course, we want it. Everyone wants to win, but it's not about the win to us. It's about the effort. If you guys went out and played 110% for the entire game, everybody went out and played 110% for the entire game, and we still lost, I don't care. Truly, I don't care. But what really is that hard part of being a coach is when everybody isn't playing at their best and they just give up. And as a coach, you can't give up. Even when everybody else is giving up, you have to keep trying, keep switching things up, throw in different rotations, try different girls. I threw in a girl who always has a great attitude and is always a really great teammate, and she's just a little ball of energy. So I threw her in there to see if she could pick it up. She picked it up. The whole, all 5 of them out on the court, their energy picked up for a short amount of time, but it was something, right? I was hoping it would become contagious to everybody, but sometimes that's just not, the mindset's not there, and that's okay. That's going to happen. But you just can't give up, and you got to just get everyone to figure it out, encourage them, say, this isn't how you guys usually play. What's going on? But I want you guys to just go out there and do your best. That's all that matters. As long as you're doing your best, I don't care. I can't be mad at you.
Right. And finding out what broke them when they found out that this was a better team. What was it that broke them? And use that to their advantage. Okay, so you think this, but what if they're really not that good? What if you are better? What if you guys all got on the same page and all had a great attitude and we're all energetic and all, working your hardest, what if you could win? And that just gives them that little spark that says, gosh, what if we could win? Wouldn't that be exciting if this was a great team and we kept up with them? But we have to work really hard to get there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, truly, the team that we were playing was not better than our team. We could have at least competed. It would have been a close game. But they got too far in their heads, and once it's a domino effect, as soon as one starts, everyone down the line just drops. So it's hard, but that's that mental toughness. You have to be able to take challenges as opportunities, not as threats.
Exactly. Yep. And that comes from the whole team. It comes from the coaches. It comes from the parents, of just reiterating that whole thing all the time, saying, why are you thinking that you're not good enough? What is it? Okay, well, let's switch that. Let's say you are good enough. I know that you are a great shot. I know that you're great on defense. I know that you're a fast runner and you can keep up with all these girls. So what is it that you think that you're not able to do that these girls can do? And help them switch that up.
Exactly.
So
when it comes to talking and working through our mistakes, there's lots of questions that we can ask ourselves. So we don't have to make the mistake of letting mistakes control you. So there's so many things that you can go over and that you should go over, because you got to think about, okay, I didn't play my best. I let all of this one mistake or multiple mistakes take over my mindset, and I let it not let me play my best. So first, what I like to do is to just figure out what's the mistake, what caused everything, right? What caused the downfall? So you figure out what that mistake is and evaluate what were my thoughts, what were my feelings, and what were my actions. What 3 things did I do that just increased the decline? And from there, there's lots of questions that you can ask and everything, but you got to figure out, what could you have changed? What thoughts and feelings and actions could you have had instead? What could you have said to yourself that would have picked you up instead of dragged you down? And how would that affect the result? That's because if you respond in a different way, your result's going to be completely different.
Exactly. Yep. So it's just still that thing of, going down one path you're judging yourself, you're judging everything that you're doing. And do you really want to do that and get down in that judger? Or do you want to get on this other path where you can have a better positive outcome? And so it's recognizing that and understanding that I can change my circumstances, or I can change my thoughts about whatever I'm doing, so that I have a better outcome. And just like you said, it's all in our thoughts of how we go about it. And once we can get control of that, and it's a hard lesson to learn. It's hard to not give in to those negative thoughts that we constantly put ourselves through. But once we recognize them and say, hey, wait a second, I don't have to think that, because I know we're better, or I know that I can be better, and I'm just going to work harder to get there.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to take time. I mean, I know I still struggle with it to this day. If I make a mistake, sometimes I want to just let it drag me down, because I know that I shouldn't have made that mistake. But you have to continue to push yourself to not let it define you, to not let it drag you down, because every single person in the entire world has made a million mistakes over and over and over again. So you're not alone.
Exactly. You're not alone. There's others to back you up, and there's always your teammates. There's always your coaches, your parents. So lean on that other person when you're getting extra down on yourself, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. So moral of the story:
mistakes are not defining you.
Exactly. There's really no such thing as a mistake. It's just all learning, and it's all growing from something not working out the way you thought it was going to. So grow from it, learn from it, and get better.
And we'll all just keep growing together. We'll all keep growing together.
That's good. Forever and ever.
Even you, Twitchy, you got to grow from your mistakes.
I got it. All right. So that's mistakes for the week. And it'd be awesome to not ever hear that word again, mistake.
What's another word that we can use? We talk about this all the time. What are other words that we can use for mistake? Mistake can be such a Debbie Downer word. So there has to be another way that we can recognize mistakes without calling them that. If you guys have any suggestions of what we could start using, what's a positive word we can start using for mistakes, go ahead and leave it in the comments below, as well as giving us a like and subscribe so you guys can follow us, get alerts, everything like that. We are also now newly available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, along with a lot more other podcast streaming services. All of it is linked in our bios, so go ahead and just check out that link and you can find us anywhere.
We're everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
YouTube.
We're getting our name out there. Woohoo!
We're everywhere. So if you want to find us, you can find us anywhere.
Lola, there's something else coming here soon. What else is coming?
Oh yeah, I guess we have been working on a little something extra, haven't we?
We've been really working hard on something extra.
We have a big announcement. We are going to be releasing a mental toughness handbook. That should be coming out soon. We don't have dates yet, but by the first of the year, it will be out and will be up. We are very excited to share this with you guys. Something you can take our lessons with you and write in them your experiences and work through all your problems at home and have it in your own little journal that will be perfect for you to take wherever you can go.
Yep, I'm excited about this new adventure and getting excited to set up times with the teams to go over this workbook and get it out there to as many as we can. So super, super, super excited about this coming out. So we've been working very hard on a lot of different things. So we are never going to leave you guys not on your toes. Right.
Next week, we are going to go over understanding our thoughts and emotions, kind of break it down a little bit. How can we think about it in different ways? So thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe below. And we'll see you guys next week. Happy Halloween.
And we're out.